Hey, what is up YouTube? Ginno here today with a brand new discussion music video. This is for the BTS comeback. The track list has now been released. We know what's going to be coming up on this album, and I'm a little bit surprised. I actually thought this album would be a little bit longer. This is supposed to be a full studio album, and there's only 11 tracks on it, which for BTS, I'm pretty sure in the past their studio albums have tended to have more like 13 tracks on, so I was a little bit surprised to see only 11. That's of course including the intro and the outro. But there's some interesting names on here, and I'm just going to talk through them and yeah, sort of react to them and let you know what I think. Of course, we have the intro Singularity, which we've already listened to. Fantastic jazzy R&B feel vibe from V there. Really is just fantastic. I enjoyed that a lot, and looking forward to having it as an audio version, because obviously we can only watch it with the music video, but I'm looking forward to playing it through my speakers as part of a whole collective album. Then we have Fake Love, which is supposed to be the title track and music video release of this album. Sounds interesting, certainly builds on some of the imagery we got in the intro. I've had a lot of people sort of explain / speak to me about it, and it sounds like a lot of fun. Next, the third track is featuring Steve Aoki. I haven't got the English translation. I'm sure there is an English translation out there, but I really just want to talk about the fact that they are featuring Steve Aoki on here. Pretty much the same placement as where they had the Chainsmokers on the last Love Yourself Her. So maybe this is going to be a reoccurring thing where the third song on the Love Yourself albums are going to have a feature of a DJ or a producer, which is interesting. So I'm looking forward to that, and I think there's a nice placement just after the first title track, so that I think that's going to work incredibly well. After that, we have a random assorted set of numbers, 1 3 4 3 4 0. I don't know what that's referring to. It looks like a song, and I thought maybe it might be a skit to begin with, just because the title was a bit weird, but it doesn't seem to be. And yeah, that's really all I can say about it. Very bizarre name. Not sure how I'm going to be able to get used to that. Maybe they want me to say 134,340. Who knows? Anyway, then we have number 5, which is once again another Korean title, and I haven't got the English translation. 3.5 minutes. Yeah, I can't really comment on that. And then now we're moving on to some very strange English titles. The BTS pretty much for Love Yourself Her also had some very strange titles for some of their songs. I thought songs like Pied Piper, Dimple was, I can sort of understand that as a title. Was Go Go was on that album, wasn't it? And they had, well, Mic Drop, of course. I just thought there were some funny titles for songs on that album, and they've continued it here. Number 6 is Love Maze. Sort of seems to be continuing with this whole sort of issues with love idea. You know, we've got Fake Love there, we've got Singularity, but both of which had that sort of imagery. And yeah, Love Maze, that sounds like a, you know, a complicated idea. Apologies if you think I'm yawning. I am. I'm very tired. I just woke up. I know, just really wanted to make this video. Then we had The Magic Shop. Once again, very strange title. It's a long song as well, 4.5 minutes. Interesting to see what they do there, because that is a very long song. Sounds interesting though, Magic Shop. And for me, the most interesting thing on this entire track listing is number 8, Aeroplane 2. This is sort of a sequel to J-Hope's Aeroplane on his album, on his mixtape, J-Hope World or Hope World. That's weird. Interesting, I love it. I love that idea. I wasn't actually that huge a fan of Airplane as an individual song. I was a huge fan of the album, but Airplane was one of my least favourite tracks on it. But they're doing a sequel to it, so that sounds fun. I'm very surprised that they're doing that, but that's great. And then number 9, Anpan Man. I'm assuming that's going to be a reference to something. Doesn't mean anything to me, but very excited for it, of course. Then we, of course, have what I'm going to assume is going to be an absolute banger. This is So What, because the way BTS tend to do it is like sort of, they tend to lay out these albums incredibly well. They start off with their intro, then they have their absolute banger of a title track, then they sort of slowly move into a more sort of smooth vocal heavy section. Then they move into these rap heavy stuff, you know, like Mass City was always on that little bit in the second half of the album. So I'm going to assume either Magic Shop or Aeroplane are going to be these absolute intense hip hop tracks. And then So What and Pan Man are either going to be those Go-Go's or the 21st Century Girl, those sort of fun classic bangers that I just absolutely adore. And then we have the outro, which is usually sort of an allusion to what the next album's vibe is going to be. So yeah, the outros are often my favourite tracks. One of my favourite tracks on the album, because I feel like the outro, they always get these sort of like mellow vibes on them, and it's so smooth and it's succulent and sweet. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the album. I'm looking forward to this. I know I'm not sort of Mr. Hype Man like some people were when they properly reacted to these track lists. I don't really get like that in the morning, unfortunately. I'm very tired, but I'm looking forward to the music video release, of course, and the album. I will hopefully be doing a music video reaction, album first listen, an album review, maybe also a track review. We'll see if you're up for that. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. This is going to be Ginno signing out. See you guys soon. Oh, I'll also be doing a live performance reaction probably. Nice.
Got a bad little mama and she always with the shits. Put 100 in my pocket and 100 on the rims. That's my little bitch. That's my little bitch. That's my little bitch. That's my little bitch. Put a red dress on her and some gas for the trip. Got 100 in my pocket and a couple on the tent. That's my little bitch. That's my little bitch. That's my little bitch. That's my little